Hello, it's 33 days to the presidential and parliamentary elections. Welcome to Joy News Prime. Coming up this hour, if a fire were to break out now, don't count on much assistance from the Ghana National Fire Service, as recent data reveals that only 115 out of 248 fire tenders are operational, leaving regions like OT and the Upper East, as well as the Fire Service headquarters, without functional equipment. And sweeping changes to the SHS system as government begins implementation of a new curriculum, emphasizing what it says is character development and holistic education to create well-rounded, ready for the world students.
Stakeholders that we are engaged, it came up that the kind of learners that were coming out from our schools were not meeting global standards.
We have details, plus speak to the Education Committee of Parliament. Also coming out, the United Nations urges the opposition National Democratic Congress to soften its stance and sign the peace pact to ensure peace in the upcoming elections. We have details as the NDC insists it will not sign a peace pact despite its flag bearer committing to a peace accord on Sunday.
You cannot go and sign peace pact when the actors who are supposed to implement it are not committed to that. Because we did same in 2020, and they went ahead and killed 8 of our people.
But the Peace Council will not back down as it presses to get all political parties to sign the pact.
On the peace pact, we have not come to the conclusion yet. And we want the public to know that for this year's election, we are doing peace pact in 25 communities.
If a fire were to break out right now in the Upper East or OT regions, no one should expect much assistance. New data from the Ghana National Fire Service shows that every fire truck in these areas is currently out of service. With 100% of their firefighting equipment non-functional, firefighters have virtually no means to respond to emergencies. This issue isn't limited to just these two regions. Greater Accra, including the national headquarters and the Volta region, are also facing challenges due to broken or inadequate equipment. Now, these details come from a response by the Ghana National Fire Service to a Joy News Right to Information request. Let's break down the data for you as contained in that particular response that we do have. Now, per what we were given, we have 248 available appliances. Out of that, we have 133 which are faulty, representing 53.6%. So this is what we do have as a nation. 248 appliances available, 133 faulty, representing 53.6%. Now, let's move on and get a breakdown for you in terms of the regions. Now, if we consider the region in percentage terms, we have Upper East, 100% of its equipment are faulty. We have OT region, 100% as well. We have Volta region, 88%, Upper East, 85.70%. The Ghana National Fire Service headquarters, it has 75%. Central region, 68.60%. In the Greater Accra, 60% of the equipment are faulty. You go to Northeast, 60%. Western region, 56.25%. Bono East is 55.40, Eastern region 41.60, and that's how it is in terms of the percentages. Now, if you look at the Western North, which was carved out of the Western region, 33.30%, Ahafo is 33%. Now, these are the percentages. Let's look at in terms of numbers. What do the numbers say? I mean, you've just seen the percentages here, but let's do the numbers for you. Now, when we get to the numbers, you see that in Upper East region, we told you 100% of the equipment are faulty. This is it. So 16 available trucks, but 16 of them are faulty. None is working. You take OT region, they have 8 equipment. 8 of them, all 8 are faulty. You go to the Volta region, they have 17. Out of that, 15 are faulty. So they just have 2 functional, available trucks in the whole of the Volta region. Upper East or Upper West, there are 14 But if you look at it, 12 are 40. Central has 22. 15 of those are 40. Let me take you to the Ghana National Fire Service headquarters. They have 8 available tracks. 6 of them are 40, so they only have 2 which are functional. In the whole of Greater Accra, they have 25 tracks, but out of that, 15 are 40. So just imagine, the whole of the Greater Accra region, only 10 of these tracks are available to service you. Northeast region, they have 5, but out of that 5, 3 are 40. Western region has 16, out of that, 9 are 40. Ashanti has 25, out of that, 6, are 40. So that is how it is in terms of the numbers, how the breakdown is. And this is why people say we are in crisis. Now, ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee in Parliament, James Agalga, says all of the fire tenders must be changed immediately, as he blames the government for neglecting the Ghana National Fire Service.
The reason is simple. For a long time, the government has neglected the fire service. In fact, the last time the Ghana National Fire Service took delivery of firefighting equipment, if my memory serves me right, sometime in 2014, prior to the last delivery, Professor Mills had also ordered over 126 firefighting vehicles. So cumulatively, all the firefighting vehicles we have now, none, not even a single one, was bought for the service by this current administration. And yet, it is common knowledge that after 8 years, those tenders are usually supposed to be replaced. These are vehicles that are supposed to move at certain speeds to be able to attend to emergency situations and put out fire. I mean, if you have an old firefighting vehicle and its speed is not above 60 kilometers per hour, it means that you are just joking.
Right.
Such a vehicle cannot attend to emergency situations and achieve good results. So this is a problem which is due to neglect. These vehicles are supposed to be serviced by experts. There was a time the fire commander in my district actually approached me for support to service the fire tender at a mechanic's shop. I found that to be strange because the firefighting engines are very special in nature and cannot be serviced by just any mechanic. Sometimes their tires are worn out and they cannot buy tires. They have to call on people. They have basically been reduced to begging. They beg for arms in order to replace their tires and buckets. The government is not responsive to the plight of the Ghana National Fire Service at all, and that for me is very, very unfortunate. The government simply does not consider the Ghana National Fire Service Act part of their priority.
Quite a disturbing situation there. But away from that, there are sweeping reforms to the senior high school system as the government commences the implementation of a new curriculum from today. The government says the changes are to focus on building character development and holistic education to create well-rounded, ready for the world student. The new curriculum takes over from the existing system, with students now required to do a minimum of 7 and a maximum of 9 learning areas in school. Listen to the acting head of curriculum development at the National Council for Curriculum Assessment, NACA, Reginald Korte, on why this change is necessary.
And it is a new curriculum that is standards-based, different from the objective-based or the content-based that we're running time back. And so, as is being a sequel to the JHS1, we had to find out what really the issues were, and that from stakeholders that we had engaged, it came up that the kind of learners that were coming out from our schools were not meeting, one, global standards. Again, when they come up, they were not able to fit into schools, like in the university, they were not doing very well. And also when they came out of school, they needed to be retrained. And again, there are a lot of global competencies that our students need to develop. Okay. And so some of those were some of the reasons that we needed to look at the curriculum going forward.
Now let's share with you the major changes, because we understand the major changes include grouping specific learning areas into 4 groups with students at liberty to choose subjects which were not included in the courses. Listen to Director General of NACA, Professor Yaira Jakaji, explain this new system with general science as a case study.
For example, we have a learning area called science. Okay. So we have 4 groups. We have group A, B, C, and D. Okay. In a group A, we have core subjects, which every learner will do once you enter that space. Which is still the maths. The maths. But what is unique about a science learner is that the line learner is not going to do general science or core science. Oh, okay. Okay. Because that will be taken care of by the biology, physics, and chemistry, which is already in group.
So core maths, core science, they are off.
They are off.
For the main science program.
Yes, science program. Okay. No, the core maths is there.
The core maths is still there.
The core maths is there. It's the core science that is off.
Okay.
No, the core maths is there. It's the core science that is off. Okay. So the learner will be exposed to the physics, chemistry, and biology. Great. Yes. So that caters for the core science. Okay.
Now, according to the Director General of NACA, Professor Yaira Jakaji, a significant and extensive engagement has been done with all stakeholders before this implementation.
Done a lot of stakeholder engagement, running from chiefs, yes, we engage the chiefs and people of Ghana completely. We engage universities, university lecturers, UTAG, GAWA. We engage teacher unions as in NAT, NAGRAT, and CCT, and then we also went ahead to engage parents. Okay. Parents were also engaged.
Parents were involved?
Yes, were involved. We also engage industry players also, yes, to get the information from them.
Mr. Koti, I'm interested, during that engagement, the extensive stakeholder engagement that we've talked about, what were some of the issues that came up? What level of, buy-in did we get from all these stakeholders, you would say? Okay,
so like my Director General has said, the engagement came at various stages and at various levels and with various categories of people. So just like you have said, with students, this is the first time when we actually engage students extensively to the extent that even during the writing sections, we brought students to the writing center to actually engage with the writers. And it will marvel you the kind of things that learners themselves wanted to learn and the kind of contribution they also put up.
Let's get some reactions to this and speak to Dr. Clement Par. He is the Deputy Ranking Member on the Education Committee of Parliament. Doc, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. This obviously looks like a great curriculum, right? What do you make of this new arrangement?
Is that a question to me?
Yes, please.
Can you repeat it, please? I'm in a vehicle.
I wanted to get your point on, obviously, this is a great curriculum, given the focus on values and making all-rounded students. If you look at the fact that they are even doing coding and all of that. And I'm asking, what's your view on this new arrangement?
Well, I cannot speak to the content of a curriculum that I have not seen. Okay. As a member of Ghana's Parliamentary Subcommittee on Education. And I have done checks with my colleagues, including my ranking member, hoping that he may have been in a meeting where either the minister or the Director General of NACA did a thorough presentation on what we are being told is a new curriculum which is due for implementation. Unfortunately, he also has no knowledge. So for those of us on the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, at least I can speak for those of us who belong to the NDC
This is the first time we are becoming aware of a new curriculum and hearing tidbits about its content. So until I see the full document about this new curriculum and to study it, it will be difficult for me to pass any judgment as to whether it portends well for the future of Ghana's education or not. Simply put, I can't speak to something that I know little about.
Now you mentioned that at least you can speak for your NDC members on the committee that you were not consulted. Is that to say that the entire committee was not consulted? Have you found that?
Well, in other words, that is what I am saying. And Parliament is a house of records. The committee has a clerk, it has a chair, a vice chair, it has a ranking member, and I am the deputy ranking member. At no time have I sat through a presentation by NACA or the minister on the new curriculum that is being rolled out. That has not happened.
Okay. But the NACA executives say they have records to show that the Parliamentary Select Committee of Parliament attended a meeting to that effect. Are you saying that you were not part of that particular meeting?
Attended the meeting where and when? And I'm telling you again, attending meetings is not the issue. The committee holds sittings, invites different stakeholders, including agencies under the Ministry of Education, to come and do all kinds of presentations. I have no knowledge, and I checked with my ranking member. He has no knowledge of any engagement where the presentation has been done by NACA or the minister, giving us details with regards to a proposed new curriculum, the content of it, and what it is going to take to bring that new curriculum into implementation. That has not happened.
Well, so you're saying that the pictorial evidence we have in the NACA 2023 journal was not a meeting to this effect, to discuss the new curriculum?
I have told you, we have had many engagements with many agencies, including NACA.
Okay.
But if NACA says that they engage the Parliamentary Select Committee on the new curriculum for secondary schools, that is not factual. So yes, they can have some pictorial evidence of me sitting in a room in a meeting. That happens all the time. That is not to say that that meeting on that engagement was the brief or present to the Select Committee on Education what today is being put in the public domain as the final document to do with a new curriculum. That has not happened. And I'm not just saying it from my perspective. I am telling you that I've spoken to my ranking member, the Honorable Nochu Kotoi, and he has no idea of such an engagement happening either.
Okay. But if you hear that students in senior high schools will be made to go through coding, training in coding, isn't that something worth pursuing for our students in that level?
Well, that is no news, because even the NDC in our 2024 manifesto, we have indicated that we are going to introduce coding to students in junior high school. So this is not rocket science. These are the trends of the time, and that is to be expected. I don't have a problem with curriculum change. The problem I have, the problem that many Ghanaians have, is when a curriculum is changed, as we did with the basic school system since 2019, with a new curriculum. We still do not have even 70% of complementary textbooks in our classrooms. According to government itself, through the minister, the last time he appeared before the Select Committee on Education, government had only provided 65%. And then you come to the junior high school, the curriculum there was changed to the Common Core. Our wards just wrote a BECE and have been placed to go to secondary school. The whole time that they were in junior high school, they never had access to a single textbook. So it is not just about changing the curriculum, but it is about mobilizing the needed resources to ensure its full and effective implementation. That is what the issue should be about.
All right. Doc, I'm grateful to you for spending your time with us here, Dr. Clement Par. Yeah. Away from that, despite entrenched positions of political parties on the signing of Peace Pact ahead of the election 2024, the Peace Council of Ghana says it is working hard to get all the political parties to commit to signing it. According to the council, they are adopting a different approach for this year's election and are confident the parties will eventually commit to signing the pact. More on that shortly, but first, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, has reaffirmed its stance against signing a peace pact with the Peace Council, even after the party's flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, committed the party to ensuring there is peace in the election at the recent peace campaign launched at the forecourt of State House. During his address, Mr. Mahama called for justice.
I, John Dramani Mahama, stand here today before you and before the Almighty God to reaffirm my commitment and that of the National Democratic Congress to uphold peace before, during, and after the upcoming elections on December 7th, 2024. If someone is or is disruptive during the election, they should be made to face justice. The government has a responsibility to hold accountable any criminals who masquerade during the elections as state security operatives. No weapons must be allowed in or around any polling stations, including at all collation centers. Election security is the primary responsibility of the Ghana Police Service under the Inspector General of Police. There must therefore be no deployment of the military or armed national security operatives at any polling station or collation center.
However, the NDC insists that a commitment to justice must precede any symbolic peace pact. Well, the president of the Peace Council of Ghana, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, says his outfit is working hard to get all the political parties to sign the peace pact. He made this call when an AU delegation donated some electrical equipment to the council.
On the peace pact, we have not come to the conclusion yet. And we want the public to know that for this year's election, we are doing peace pact in 25 constituencies, in addition to the National Peace Pact. So some peace pact will take place in some other constituencies that we think and we classify as some hotspots. So we are working towards all of these things. I think in the coming days, a lot more information will put up in the public domain. But for now, it takes time to get commitments from everybody. And those are the things we are working on.
But the UN representative for West Africa, who is also the special envoy to the UN Secretary General, Leonardo Santos Simao, is urging both the NDC and the NPP to commit to the peace pact to help promote peace during the elections in December.
My main message to them is that first they have to protect peace. Peace is an important asset for the country, so you have to protect it. And the peace doesn't happen by chance. It's a product of a deliberate and systematic work of the political actors. By their attitude first, self-education for peace, but also the education of their supporters, in particular the youth. Sometimes in the desire to win votes, people can cross certain barriers which will put peace in danger. So politicians have to have a sort of self-vigilance to see that they are not going too far in their desire to win votes on that. So peace protection is the responsibility of every political actor in society. So I share that view. It's up to you. It's your sole responsibility, to preserve peace in society.
And contrary to accusations of the Electoral Commission not being transparent, the UN Special Envoy says he sees a genuine interest on the part of the EC to be transparent.
what the Electoral Commission is doing, yeah, it's positive, but it's not doing it in a vacuum. The Electoral Commission has clients to satisfy, which are the political parties and the wider society in general. Therefore, these clients not always are satisfied because they have concerns which they are addressing to this institution. The positive side of that is there is openness of the Electoral Commission to address these concerns in the best way so that it gives to everybody from political parties and from the voters in general that comfort that their concerns are addressed, and therefore the conditions for holding elections are equal for everybody. In other words, that the choices of the citizens are going to be respected.
So in your view, the Electoral Commission is being transparent? I
think so. Or at least it's making efforts. Maybe it will not reach the level of perfection, which is the ideal, but I have no doubt that genuine efforts and commitment to do good is there.
Thankfully, you met with the opposition leader, the flag bearer of the opposition party, yes, the last time you were here, yes, in Kumasi.
Right.
We know recently he's also met with the international community, and he issued a statement to talk about, he placed before them his concerns.
Right.
And I believe he would have placed before you his own concerns about
yes,
the fears he has about the elections, its transparency, credibility, etc. What were those when he met you?
One of the main concerns of the opposition was the voter registration, that it required a serious review on that. But this was then addressed in a meeting, open meeting, the Electoral Commission had with the political parties. And I think that most of the doubts the opposition had have been solved. But even if they are not solved, I found more recently the openness of the Commission to work with all partners.
Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC. He joins us now for a chat on this. Doc, I'm grateful to you for joining us. Now, your flag bearer says he's committed to ensuring that there's peace during the election. But your party says you will not sign the pact. What should change before you accept to sign the pact?
Yes, my brother, let me say good evening to your cherished viewers. We still insist the mere absence of a conflict doesn't mean there is peace in the country. When there is lack of justice, fairness, and mutual respect, you are in the midst of conflict. That is what it means. And that is where the country has cruised to. We have said it time and again that, look, the injustice in the system is becoming one too many. And we are not going to commit into a situation where there is complete injustice in the system. We signed the Peace Pact in 2020. My brother, the state actors who were supposed to implement the Peace Pact rather tend to be the people who were rather perpetuating illegality and to the extent of killing our people. 8 of them were murdered in cool blood by the state actors. As we speak now, nobody has been arrested. No report whatsoever about the incident.
Is that what you describe as injustice? They say the wheels of justice grind slowly, but obviously it will get there. And of course, it is in the hands of the court to deal with it.
My brother, the matter is not in any court. Who has been arrested and has been sent to court?
No, but I'm saying that if you are calling for justice, it's in the hands of the legal system.
Arrest them first. We are saying that they should arrest the perpetrators first. They are state actors.
Okay.
Those who committed it were not private people. They were state actors who committed this heinous crime. And at the back, on the heels of the Peace Pact that we signed, if you were in our shoe, will you sign Peace Pact again to jeopardize the life of our supporters and activists? Our national chairman was, and I'm happy with the statement of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama yesterday. Okay. Our flag bearer, we stand by what he said yesterday. He made it very clear. And he said it, and he repeated it. Peace is not merely the absence of conflict. It is the presence of justice, fairness, and mutual respect.
If you say you won't sign the pact, should we take it that in the course of the election you are prepared to say that you will meet force with force?
We don't have that power. We don't have arms as an opposition party. We don't have it. It is the state being governed by the MPP government that we have as of now. And so they are supposed to commit and make sure that the state actors act professionally to protect everybody. That responsibility is not on the NDC.
Okay.
But our responsibility is to make sure that our supporters are hugely protected. And we will do that. That one there, we are not missing words. We will not allow any of our supporters to be killed in this coming election. We will not. Because we saw it in 2020. We signed Peace Pact, gave our life to the state, thinking that the state will protect us during the election. But the state rather turned against us.
So you'll be carrying guns?
I'm saying we don't have it. I repeatedly said that.
But you say you are going to protect your supporters. How are you going to do that?
My brother, there are several ways of protecting yourself. Can't you protect yourself? Do you need gun to protect yourself?
Okay.
You don't need a gun to protect yourself.
Okay. Doc, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to you.
That we are committed to peace. Okay. For that one, that the NDC is committed, set by our flag bearer, and we stand by our flag bearer.
I'm grateful to you, Dr. Tanko Computer, for joining us here. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is Deputy Director in charge of IT and elections of the NDC. We'll take a break here. We'll be back with more. Please don't go away. Welcome back from the break. Now, improving dietary diversity in northern Ghana is gaining momentum. The Bolga East District, for instance, is attributing the gains to the nutrition-friendly school initiatives they are implementing. They say the initiative has significantly improved school attendance. The program aims to promote balanced diet and reduce the intake of high-energy, nutrient-poor foods among school children. There is more in the following report.
What do we get from Yellow Milo?
The Nutrition-Friendly School Initiative brings engaging, healthy activities to classrooms across Bolga East. Each week, students participate in designated days like Protein Day, where they focus on meals rich in proteins, and Fruits Day, with emphasis on the benefits of fresh fruits by bringing some from home. There is also Physical Education Days, which focuses on exercise and inspection days, encouraging good personal hygiene habits.
So we have realized that their eating habits has really improved with regards to eating foods which are rich in micronutrients. For instance, with the egg day, we notice that days which are not even designated as egg days, we find them bringing eggs to school, meaning we have had a positive impact on them. And then with fruits, we find them eating fruits even on days which are not fruit days. They come to talk to their teachers on days which the teachers may have even skipped the fruit day activity, that, oh, master, today is fruit day, today is egg day, and all that. So we see that it's actually improving upon them.
We have pineapple and banana here. Can we talk about them? What do we get from pineapple?
Attendance used to be a significant challenge, but since the program began 3 years ago, the district has seen improvements. According to program leaders, the excitement around these activities is encouraging students to show up and engage.
There were also a lot of absenteeism and others, but we have realized that with these kind of activities, it actually encourages them to come to school, and also it has also improved upon most of the weight of the children, in addition to the school feeding program, which is currently ongoing in the school.
To support adolescent health, the district, along with UNICEF, has introduced iron and folic acid supplements at the junior high levels, especially for girls. These supplements are taken under the supervision of teachers and parents with the aim of preventing anemia and promoting overall well-being. This comprehensive approach to health and nutrition appears to be laying a strong foundation for futures of school children in Bolga East.
And on election headquarters today, we're focusing on the American election because over 76 million early voters have cast their vote. Former President Donald Trump has been critical of early voting as his campaign and the Republican Party have been pushing for voters to cast early ballot. Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign has pushed for Democratic voters to utilize early voting more aggressively, seen as a tactic to help gain votes ahead of Election Day. Joy News, your election headquarters, is on the ground, and we will bring you live coverage from midnight, November 6th, here on your channel. Lead data and research analyst here at Joy News, Isaac Kofi has been monitoring the trends, and he is in studio with me to break down the figures. Kofi, let's understand what's happening.
Well, so you spoke about early voting and the million ballots. Currently, what we have is that 76.4 million voters who have actually cast their vote at the moment. If you look at it on the side of partisan registration, let's go up and see the partisan registration. You can see that Republicans are actually leading 41% of that 76.4 million votes so far. Are actually saying that 41% are saying that they're actually registered voters in terms of being Republicans, and you have 39% being Democrats.
Okay,
41 Republicans, 39. But the most significant figure is this 20% you see here, which we do not know their background in terms of political color. If you actually sort according to age, you realize that currently the aged are actually now voting early. Those who are actually between the ages of 45 and 50 and 60 and above have actually gone to the centers to actually cast their ballot early. What is interesting is that it is becoming so difficult to get the youth who are between the ages of 18 to 35 or 39 years off the couch to go and vote. And so interestingly, these are the, what we have so far. And if you saw, just like I said, according to age, you see that those in green are those between the ages of more than 65 years, and they are leading in almost all the 50 states so far. Just like you see in the purple, between 30 to 39 are those who are the youth that we're actually speaking about. If you look at the charts right now, that is not significant as the greens. That tells you that the aged have gone ahead to start doing early voting or mailed-in ballots. If you sort by gender, that tells an interesting story where we see that the 76.4 million votes that have come in so far, 53% are actually female, women, and 44 are actually male. Just 3% there, we do not know their gender so far. But what we know, there's no data available on them. But what we know is that more than half of that 76.4 million early voters are actually women. And if you sort by the last one, the voting type, the vote type, that tells you that the mail-in ballot is actually 44%, and in person is leading. That tells you that people are interested. They want to go to the voting centers to vote themselves. 56% of that 76.4 million so far. But the most important states are the 7 battlegrounds, which Pennsylvania, remember Trump, hello Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania holds 19 electoral college votes. That tells you that Pennsylvania, they say, could be the leading decider in this year's election in the U.S.
And the data, it will be interesting to know where the aged are voting. It will be also interesting to know where the women are actually voting, because the women are in the lead in the early voting.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Very, very interesting. But you need to stay with us here on the eve of the midnight of Wednesday, 12 to 3 a.m. as we bring you that comprehensive, coverage of the American elections on what we call the America Decides 2024. Be with us here on the election headquarters. And that's how we wrap up the bulletin. There is more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Brace. Do enjoy your evening.